What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with another new look rebuild, and of course today we have ourselves the Brooklyn Nets, who may not be done making changes as they are rumored to be a potential third team in the Dame trade, but I'm tired of waiting. The Nets didn't change all that much. That's kind of been a trend for the last few teams that we have done, but let's just go ahead and jump in and do this new look Brooklyn Nets rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We are on the road to 40,000 subs, and of course the first stop will be 39k, then 40k after that, which will just be absolutely amazing. The support y'all show is absolutely incredible, so thank you so much for that. But let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, because the Brooklyn Nets, man, I don't know, I like their roster, and then at the same time I just feel like they're missing something, if that makes sense. One thing I do want to just go ahead and point out really quickly: if Sean Marks was actually offered Anthony Simons in the third pick on draft night for Mikal Bridges, in my mind, I'm a Blazers fan, and I think that would have been a way big of an overpay for Mikal Bridges. I love Mikal Bridges as well, one of my favorite players in the league. But if you could have reset your franchise with Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons, I think that would have been a really good deal for the Nets to take, but they decided not to, if that rumor is true. Regardless, the new additions for the team were Darius Bazley, Lonnie Walker, and also Dennis Smith Jr. And of course, they went ahead and also there's Dennis Smith. They also drafted Noah Clowney and Derek Whitehead. So we take a look at the rotation going into this season. This is what it's currently looking like. It's Dinwiddie, it's Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Finney Smith, Claxton. Low key, a really nice starting five. If they had like an elite point guard, say like Damian Lillard, I would almost put them as like kind of a dark horse contender in my mind, just because there's a lot of good wings here. They definitely have like Mikal, if he could show off what he did last year and keep that consistency up, that's gonna be awesome. So if you had like another guy to, take the pressure off of him, like a Dame, like I said, that'd be really cool. But then you got like Ben Simmons, Cameron Thomas, Lonnie Walker, Bazley, and then Royce O'Neal off the bench. And then of course we have like Day'Ron Sharpe, Dennis Smith Jr., Noah Clowney, and Derek Whitehead. So I definitely want to be able to get as many guys minutes as possible, but I don't like going to like 11-man rotations. I think that's a little too much, but I'll do a 10-man rotation. So Dinwiddie, Mikal, Cameron, I'm going to keep the starting five the same. The bench, Ben Simmons, I'm fine with playing, I guess, since he's a 78 overall. Lonnie Walker, Bazley. Royce O'Neal, I don't want to just bench him because you need guys, but I also kind of want to play like Dennis Smith Jr. This year. So I guess I am going to bench Royce O'Neal, even though he doesn't deserve it. I do want to play Dennis Smith Jr. And then Noah Clowney and Derek Whitehead, of course, are going to be like big parts of what we do in the future. Hopefully they can develop. I'll kind of have them as like the 11th and 12th guys, maybe behind Royce O'Neal. That probably is more fair. So something like this, if I could do it correctly. All right, so we'll probably run with that this season, and then we're also going to go ahead and change Mikal Bridges' shot tendency, because obviously a 44 is just way too low. The man needs to be like a 90, especially for this team. He's going to have to be the guy here, so we're going to go ahead and push this up like crazy. I don't even know where we're going to take this team, what direction we're going to go in. I like some of the pieces they have, but I think we're missing like another like elite player that we're actually building around. I like Mikal, but I'm just not sure if I love him as like a #1 guy. We'll see. Cameron Johnson, I'm going to push up a little bit as well. I think I'm going to leave that the way it is. I think I'm going to leave this all the same, and then I'm going to use those mentorship programs like I usually do for Noah Clowney and Derek Whitehead. Other than that, I will see you guys either at the trade deadline or at the end of the season. We'll kind of just feel it out and see what 2K thinks of the Brooklyn Nets to start this rebuild, and we'll make our changes from there. So we are stopped at the trade deadline, as we are currently 24-32 on the season. We're the 10th seed in the East, and as far as we know, we're fighting for a play-in spot at the moment. So to me, I feel like we should try to sell some pieces off. I'm not like full on blowing up the team or anything, but we do have guys on like 1-year contracts. I would rather just like trade while we can. So Nick Claxton is not one of those guys. I plan on re-signing him in the offseason. I love Nick Claxton, so I'm going to go ahead and try to keep him here. But I definitely want to trade Royce O'Neal. I feel bad for not having him play like consistent minutes right now. I just wanted to play the newer guy, I guess, even though O'Neal should definitely be playing. But I'm going to throw him in the trade finder. I did have a trade lined up that I thought could be really good, and that's we get Dean Wade and a first-round pick for Royce O'Neal. We give them a second as well, but basically we are taking on like a contract, but it doesn't really matter because I don't think we're gonna have cap space anyway. So we're gonna have a 2028 first come back for Royce O'Neal. To me, that's a done deal in my mind, so we'll do that trade. And just like that, we take care of Royce O'Neal not getting any minutes. We get a first-round pick for him. The next guy I want to potentially look at trading away is Spencer Dinwiddie. He's averaging 13 and 7 on the season right now. I wouldn't mind re-signing him, but at the same time, I just don't think there's like, I don't know. I think I'd rather move him if I can, and then we could play Dennis Smith, that point guard, for the rest of the year and call it a day. So Brook Lopez in a second. Don't ever see the Bucks entertain that idea. I'm just trying to get like maybe a first offered me. So like the Miami Heat, I guess if they theoretically never trade for Dame, they'd still have Kyle Lowry, and I guess that's a first round pick from them. That's a 2-star trade value. which honestly could work out for us. So maybe if the Miami Heat were just like looking to get a different point guard in the building, that could definitely be something we entertain. So I think that's the trade we're gonna do. Miami wants to go ahead and give me a first round pick for Dinwiddie. We'll do it. It's their 2024 first, and then we get Kyle Lowry, who's an expiring contract. Done deal in my mind. We'll go ahead and make that trade, and just like that, we are going into or we're not going to next season. We're still in the same season. I'm not going to play Kyle Lowry this year, though. I was going to go ahead and play Dennis Smith Jr. because I think I'm going to try to re-sign Dennis Smith Jr. And then I'm also going to play like Noah Clowney at these last 10 or like at this last spot. I don't want to play Edmund Sumner. I'm going to go ahead and play Noah Clowney here, get him some minutes for the rest of the season. So they want to start Claxton at the 4 and Ben Simmons at the 5. No, we're not doing that. I mean, we could play Ben Simmons at the 4, but I'd rather just, stick with Darius Bazley. So we'll do that. I'm going to fix this up, but I'll see you guys in the playoffs, which I assume we won't be in the playoffs, but I guess you never really know. But we'll see. Maybe we make it in. We maybe barely get in there. We'll find out once we get there. Maybe we're a play-in team as my alarm is going off again. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So at the end of year 1, no surprise here. Trae Young is your MVP. Vic, Rookie of the Year. Chris Paul, 6 man. Usually that's kind of like the same. It's usually Trae, Vic, and then Chris Paul. That's usually how it goes, and then here's the rest. So I'm assuming we don't get like a Mikal Bridges on an All-NBA team. Did we get him on an All-Defensive team, though? We do not, so no Mikal Bridges. But we are, I believe, in the play-in. No, we barely missed it. So we're not in the play-in tournament, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So we had 26 points from Mikal Bridges, 16 from Cameron Johnson, 13 from Cameron Thomas, 11 from Lonnie Walker, 10 from Kyle Lowry, who didn't really play for us too much, but 9 and 11 from Claxton, 8.5 from Ben Simmons, and then Finney Smith with 8, and then 7 from Bazley. I think we have a good foundation. The biggest thing is, if we're going to try to be a contender or a sneaky contender, we got to bring in another guy with Mikal Bridges that could take some scoring pressure off of him. If we can get like another guy that we feel like we can build around, then that's going to be the game plan, basically. So let's go ahead, simulate these playoffs, and let's see what happens. I'm assuming the Hawks win the championship like they always do. Nope. Actually, it's Celtics and Lakers. Every big market media fan, whatever you want to call it, wet dream. Somebody current round, and you got the Celtics going on to beat the Lakers in 5 games. So I don't know which picks we had, but I know we traded for Miami's picks, so they ended up being the 6th seed in the East, which kind of worked out for them. So let's just see what kind of picks we have in this draft. So Spurs have number 1. Fair enough. We're going to end up with pick number 19 via the Miami Heat, and that might be it. So it might be next draft where we have all these other picks, but we obviously have some future picks. The Rockets get our pick, which kind of sucks. It does fall to 11, which I kind of forgot about. So we only have the Nets pick in this draft. I don't know if I want to draft somebody this team. If we're going to try to be a team that's like competing, I want to try to bring in a guy if we can. So we're going to take a look at some of the head coaching options. We have Dwayne Casey out here. You have Cooper Dyke, whoever that is. Jack Vaughn, we could just bring back. You got Steven, Jason Kidd. He used to coach the Brooklyn Nets once upon a time. Or there's probably some good assistant head coach, opportunities as well we can look at. But I'm going to go ahead and fill out this coaching staff. And then the next step is I'm probably going to look at potentially using Ben Simmons' expiring contract. It's worth $40 million. It's an expiring salary. It's probably going to be a very important asset in the new CBA where you get an expiring contract like Ben Simmons worth $40 million. So maybe we can go, bring this contract out there to teams, and there's a star making around that, and we could bring him in for some of the draft capital that we have with Ben Simmons, and then we're off and running. So that'll probably be what we're looking at after we fill out this coaching staff. So we just got done filling out our coaching staff, and now we're kind of taking a look at some options as far as trading for maybe an elite guard at our point guard position. Immediately, what comes to mind, of course, the most realistic option, especially if he doesn't get moved, would be Damian Lillard on the Portland Trail Blazers, but I have done that in the past, so I'm not going to. He'd probably be pretty easy to get right now. We could have Damian Mikal Bridges, though, they're obviously boys, so that could make a ton of sense, but I'm just not going to go that route since I've done that in the past. Stephen Curry, ironically enough, is also available, but that just feels like way too unrealistic. It's not even funny. Steph feels like a guy that's going to retire a Warrior, so I just don't see a world where that's happening. But the other 2 guys I was kind of thinking about, one of them is going to be a little weird because I kind of have to explain the reasoning behind it. But what about maybe Donovan Mitchell? Maybe the Cavs fear that Donovan Mitchell wouldn't re-sign if he's on the last year of his deal. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here. The other idea I had is LaMelo Ball. If he maybe requested a trade out of Charlotte, would he enjoy a big market like Brooklyn or the obviously people prefer the Knicks, but obviously you had Kevin Durant, Kyrie choose the Nets. We all know how that ended, but still, it's still an idea. We can get LaMelo Ball in a New York market. Jalen Brunson, we could have Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges reunite in Brooklyn instead of on the Knicks, even though Josh Hart and DiVincenzo are there as well. Villanova boys, if you didn't know what I was talking about. The other option is De'Aaron Fox, even though the Kings, they just sucked this year in 2K. But I'm going to first try for LaMelo. That's my dream scenario. In this hypothetical, LaMelo Ball is requesting a trade, basically. That's kind of what we're looking at. They're rebuilding, and it seems like, they're just, I don't know. It just seems like they're going to go a different direction. For LaMelo, he requests a trade. Doesn't make a ton of sense. No, not really. But the most realistic option that made sense would be Dame, and I just don't want to do that again. So I think to get LaMelo Ball, we're going to have to include both Clowney and Whitehead. It's going to suck to do, but it's going to be worth it if we get LaMelo on the team. So I'm going to throw my best offer at the Charlotte Hornets and see what they say. And they might say no to this, but we're going to throw it at them anyway. So maybe we include our own pick instead of that one, and let's see what they say. So 2027, and they say no. So LaMelo Ball is not going to be obtainable. If we didn't trade our pick, we only have 1 2-star pick apparently. What about the Suns pick? Only 1.5. Okay. Is there anyone else I could throw in this trade? I could throw Dean Wade in there, but I don't think that's making a difference. So yeah, LaMelo Ball is not going to be obtainable. The other guy, as I mentioned, was Cleveland's Donovan Mitchell. There right now, they couldn't even accept this trade. So we probably have to include one of them. So let's say it's Noah Clowney, and then we throw 19 and also 2027 Philly, and they don't agree. So far, both the guard options I've been going for, it's not working out. So we may have to just go into the draft and not worry about a point guard right now, unfortunately. All right, so here we are at pick number 19. We have Aaron Bradshaw, Kane Carlisle, Bronny James, Tyrese Proctor, Mikey Williams. I'll go ahead and select Mikey Williams here. Someone told me they wanted me to draft him, so I'll do it for them today. So we're going to go Mikey Williams, 72 overall. I don't know if he'll ever be a big part of what we're doing. I'm going to accept Daron Sharp. Maybe we can revisit the LaMelo Ball idea with some of our other younger players on the team now, so we might go back to that. Nick Claxton is going to have to be paid, and we can finally pay him, and that's going to be great. So obviously I want to keep Nick Claxton around. I think 5-year, $20 million is more than fair for like Nick Claxton. I'm going to see if he accepts that. He has one offer right now. We're going to make sure so he does accept that, and that should be a really good contract for us going forward. So we're going to go ahead and get Claxton re-signed and make sure that's taken care of. And then what else do we need on this roster? So right now we have no point guard, which we knew was a problem. We traded Mikal Bridges at the deadline. We have Mikal, Cameron Thomas, Tariq Whitehead. We have Cameron Johnson, Finney Smith, Noah Clowney, Dean Wade. We have Claxton, Ben Simmons, and Daron Sharp. So Daron Sharp, I'm fine with being my backup 5. I am going to go ahead and revisit the idea of trading for LaMelo. I doubt the Hornets change their mind, but we're going to try it anyway. So the offer changes just a little bit. I doubt they still say yes to this, and they're still saying no. So LaMelo Ball is not going to be obtainable. So unfortunately, we might just have to go into the season with no point guard right now that we could possibly get, and just have to wait till the deadline and try to strike at the deadline, maybe using Ben Simmons' contract for another guy who may be available or not be available. So right now we need a point guard for the season, though. I could just re-sign Dennis Smith Jr. and call it a day. I don't know how much he's asking for. I don't see him right now. You also have like Monte Morris, who is a fine. I mean, we could bring him in and then he could start for this year. And then once we get our point guard in, he could be like the bench point guard. So I'm cool with that. So Monte Morris, will sign him. And I still want to bring back Dennis Smith Jr. if I can. I don't know how much he's asking for. I don't really see him right now. But we're going to try to bring him back. He's asked for 3.5. That's not terrible. So we'll go Dennis Smith, bring him back, and we'll have him as another guy on the team if need be. But I'm happy to have him. And I think that's going to be all we can do. So our point guard for to start the season is going to be Monte Morris. Then we'll have Dennis Smith backing him up. Mikal Bridges, Cameron Thomas, Tariq Whitehead. I guess I can move Tariq Whitehead to the 3, and he might even go up in overall. So we'll go ahead and do that. He's up to a 76. We'll do that. We'll have our backup 3. We have Noah Clowney, and then we have, Claxton, Ben Simmons, Daron Sharp. I hope at the trade deadline something opens up for us, because I want to try to get an elite guard here, put us really over the top, because I still don't think we're a contender. Clowney and Tariq Whitehead, of course, are going to get minutes this year, it looks like, so I'm happy about that. So we'll, get them some run this year. At the deadline, we're going to try our very, very best to strike on an elite guard. Maybe it's an elite, maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know. We're going to try to get something to happen here. Ben Simmons on the last of his deal. That expiring contract should be very valuable around the league, even though it's not in 2K. But we're going to make it happen. So parking lands at 26. Maybe we do it before the trade deadline and we try to get something done as quick as possible, because I want to be good immediately. And I think if we get a guard here, it's going to work. So Monte Morris, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Finney Smith. Everything's kind of the same here. Only other thing is we have obviously Clowney and Whitehead playing minutes this year, which is great. So then we can run a 10-minute rotation and run Dennis Smith. Or actually, we already ran a 10-minute rotation. Never mind. So we don't need Dennis Smith in there as well. So we got Claxton back. We got Monte Morris in the offseason. And that was basically it. I tried for a couple of guys. It did not work out. Hopefully at the deadline, something opens up. I'll see you guys there, and maybe we'll be making a big trade once we're there. We'll see. So we are stopped at trade deadline. We're 4 games under 500. I'm zeroing in on 2 guys. There's 2 guys I'm going for. I'm going to try to walk away with one of them at the deadline, and that is going to be Atlanta's Trae Young, because he is, apparently he's on the trade block. Not sure why, because they're 41-14. Their intel is they're rebuilding. I'm not sure why that's the case. But yeah, I want Trae Young if I can't get LaMelo, because the Charlotte Hornets now are selling. So I wonder, after being 10-46, LaMelo Ball is just absolutely tilted over the edge. He's ready to get out of Charlotte. So that is what we're going to try to do. So we're going to try for LaMelo first, because he's a lot taller than Trae Young. But if there's any team that can hide Trae Young on defense, it'd probably be what the Nets personnel is. So Trae Young's not going to be a bad idea either if we go for that. Or the other idea that I kind of just peeked at was Tyler Hero. Of course, there's kind of a rumor, which he's averaging 28 points per game on the season right now. Holy moly. But yeah, there's kind of a report that the Nets would be interested potentially in Tyler Hero, but I don't know how true that is. But we're going for LaMelo again, and we're going to see if this time the Hornets budge on it. So Ben Simmons, hey man, he's got a 3.5-star trade value. That's a great start to a trade. We're throwing this pick in there. Can I throw another player at them in this trade? We'll see. I would be fine with Mikey Williams again. They don't have enough roster spots, but maybe they have one guy they can throw at me. Like JT Thor shouldn't have much trade value, but whatever. He kind of does. But Suns pick, not very valuable. Yeah, I have a feeling this isn't going to happen. But you know what? We're going to try it anyway. All this for LaMelo. They don't agree. They don't agree. Damn. Okay. So Mikey Williams, I think, well, let's say we were moved, and let's just say we throw all the picks at him. 2027 Brooklyn pick that has 2-star trade value. So Ben Simmons and a bunch of picks for LaMelo. We did it. Just like that, it took every single pick in our arsenal, but we got LaMelo Ball. We got our franchise point guard next to Mikal Bridges. I think that's going to put us exactly where we needed to be, at least in the 2K world. You can argue whether or not this would be a contender in real life, but in 2K, this is going to be a contender because LaMelo Ball is that guy. He's only averaging 20 on the season right now, which is kind of weird, but I think in here, if he comes over here, he's going to average way more. So LaMelo, Mikal is our new backcourt with Cameron Johnson, Finney Smith, Claxton, Monty Morris, Cameron Thomas, Tariq Whitehead, and Noah Clowney, and Daron Sharp. But you know what? We're gonna run a 9-man rotation. Run a 9-man rotation, and our proficiency's up to a 4-star. We're 26-30, 4 games under 500. We got our guy, and hopefully that means things are about to turn around for us. This year we have another guard winning MVP. That is Darius Garland. Buzelis on the Spurs next to Vic wins Rookie of the Year. That'd be kind of a crazy duo if they end up with that. Markelle Fultz, 6-man in Detroit. Defensive player goes Giannis, Scotty Barnes most improved, and JB Bickerstaff is your coach of the year. Here's your all-NBA first team. I'm assuming we don't have any representatives. LaMelo wasn't averaging anything crazy once we traded for him, and we're a play-in team. So we went from not making the play-in to making it this year. We have 2 chances of actually striking and getting into the playoffs, which I think we will. Mikal averages 28 on the season, and then you have LaMelo with 21, 15 from Cameron Johnson, 12 from Cameron Thomas, 9 from Tariq Whitehead, 9 from Monty Morris, 8 from Clax with 10 rebounds, and then 7 from Noah Clowney. So I'm hoping we get out of the play-in. We get Orlando in round 1 of the play-in, first leg here. So hopefully we get past them, and we are going to lose. Okay. Now we either get Milwaukee or Miami. We draw the Miami Heat. We're going to go ahead and simcast this one because I really want to be in the playoffs. We're at home in Brooklyn. It is Miami, so you never really know. We do have the lead, but they had it for the most part. We take it back, but they take it back again. And barely, just barely, wow, squeaked into the playoffs. Okay. We are going up against Cleveland, though, which could be an issue. But you know what? We're going to give it the old college try and kind of see how it goes. So, game 1, we're up 1-0. Great start. We take one in their home floor. That's always what you need. 40 points for Mikal in that first game. Game 2, they even it up, though, 133-102. Game 3. So, we took one game at their home, but I imagine they're going to find a way to get one at our home. So, we'll see. And yeah, they do. Do they win the other one, too? Yes, they do. They're up 3-1. Okay. It is the Cavs. I'm not too surprised by this, but at least we have our franchise point guard, and now it's time to make more moves if we need to. Although, we traded like every single pick to get LaMelo Ball, so we may not have, a bunch of moves left, but we'll find a way. We'll find a way. We do, unfortunately, go home in Game 5 to the Cavs. We gave it a little bit of a fight there, but we got our guy. That's what matters. That was all the focus was, and now we can focus on other things. So the Celtics go on to win the championship. They beat the Suns. JaVale McGee is retiring a Maverick, and then lottery time. It's not going to really matter for us because, of course, we traded every single pick that we could possibly trade. And I don't know. The Charlotte Hornets got the 15th overall pick in that LaMelo Ball trade. So LaMelo requested out of Charlotte. I don't know. There's just kind of the image I drew in my head, I guess. All right. We're going to go ahead and hire a post defensive coach, and then it's time to figure out what are we going to do with the rest of the roster. I don't even think we have a single pick on draft night, so let's just go straight to player options and figure out what our bench is going to look like. So, Finney-Smith accepts. I do like Dorian Finney-Smith. He doesn't progress, unfortunately, though. He's already 32, which is probably why. I don't know if I can rely on Noah Clowney to be my starting 4 this year, so we might have to be looking for a different power forward or a different small forward, either way, one or the other. So, free agency, Cameron Thomas and Daron Sharp are free agents. Okay, right now, if I could sign anybody, we could sign Corey Kispert, Jalen Johnson, Trey Lyles. So, Corey Kispert, I actually love. 9 points, 38% shooting. So that might be an addition for us. I'm not going to lie. But taking a look at it. So we have Monty Morris, LaMelo Ball. That's a good point guard tandem. Mikey Williams, Dennis Smith. That might be able to go get us something. I can finally bring back Cameron Thomas as a bucket off the bench. And then right now, Finney-Smith is our starting 4. I think if there's anything we could change, it would be one of our starting forwards. And it's going to be Finney-Smith. If I moved Cameron Johnson to the power forward, does he go up? I'm not really sure. He stays the same. So I'd prefer to keep him at small forward. We're going to go ahead and take a look around the league at maybe some power forward options and see if anything's even available for us. I like Dorian Finney-Smith, but he just doesn't go up in overall, and he's kind of stuck up where he's at. So we may take a look and see if there's like a power forward we can bring in to upgrade, kind of the roster we have right now. I think I have my power forward target, and that's going to be Jeremy Grant on the Portland Trailblazers, averaging 14 points. We just get a better overall power forward, basically, is the game plan here. So he's only 3-star trade value. He's on a big contract. We, include Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't even know if we can match his salary. Let's see if we can even match his salary. So $9 million needs to go out with Dorian Finney-Smith. We have Mikey Williams, and then we actually have the salary to match it. So Dean Wade. So Dorian Finney-Smith, Mike Williams, Dean Wade. And then do we even have like another pick to throw at them? We throw this Cavs pick at them. That should be a done deal. I mean, Mikey Williams might just, Portland doesn't really need another guard, though. I don't care. I'm not the Portland GM today. I don't care about the Cat, or I don't care about the Portland Trailblazers today. So let's just see if they accept this. They do not. They think they're a contender, which they're clearly not. One pick, that changes it. So just like that, we got our new power forward. So Jeremy Grant's the brand new addition, brand new power forward. And then I think we can just simply resign Cameron Thomas and Daron Sharp, or we can go for a different backup center if we need to. So you have Garuba, Trendon Watford, who's not actually a 5, but he's listed at 5 in 2K. I mean, Portland, I think, played him there, which made no sense, but still. Nick Richards, though, he would be an upgrade over Daron Sharp. I mean, Daron Sharp might develop, though, into a 79 overall. Do I want to take that chance? He's a 77 overall already. Yeah, let's just re-sign Daron Sharp. He's been in the system. We'll give him a deal. So Daron Sharp, bring him back. And then we'll probably just bring back Cameron Thomas. Unless if there's a different shooting guard, like Isaiah Joe over Cameron Thomas. I mean, kind of tempting. The man, yeah, we're doing it. We're bringing Isaiah Joe in. So Cameron Thomas, love what you've done for us, but we're going to go ahead and go for Mr. Isaiah Joe instead. So, he goes to Toronto. Damn, never mind. All right, hey, Cameron Thomas, I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but we'd love to have you back. So, yeah, come back. So, thank you. So get Cameron Thomas, Daron Sharp back, and that is taken care of. And I think that's going to be it. And we can still bring Corey Kispert in. He's restricted. We have Tariq Whitehead. There's no reason to bring in Corey Kispert right now. So we're just going to move on. Player progression. I'm hoping we get some really good progression out of Clowney and Whitehead going into the season. So both up to a 79. Jeremy Grant's down, which was to be expected. Is this a contender? Daron Sharp didn't move at all. Damn, that sucks. Okay. Dennis Smith and Sharp are going to have to be used to get a 5 at the deadline, probably. That's probably going to be the game plan. So we're going to go ahead and simulate this season. We're going to see how it goes. We went from missing the playoffs to the play-in, got into the playoffs. So this year, we're hoping to just make the playoffs outright. That's the game plan. So let's go ahead, get into the season. Did I even load the right draft class? I think I did. I may have loaded the wrong one last year. I don't remember. Ninth overall power ranking. That's probably because we have Mr. LaMelo Ball on our team. He's like a cheat code. So Melo, Mikal, Johnson, Grant, Claxton, Morris, Cameron Thomas, Tariq Whitehead, Noah Clowney. To me, that's a good team. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully there's no need to even stop at the deadline, because right now we're really not even playing a backup 5. But we'll see what happens. So it's early on in the season, and I'm already ready to get a new backup 5 in the building. So I'm offering Monty Morris, Daron Sharp, Dennis Smith Jr., and the Timberwolves are offering me Naz Reid in return, one of the better backup centers in the league. Obviously, Minnesota does this because they're paying so many centers as it is already. Aaron Bradshaw's a throw-in. Sign me up for it. And just like that, we get ourselves a brand new backup 5 in Brooklyn. So hopefully that changes the dynamic of this team even further. We start off to a 12-13 record. So I just like, you know what? We're not going to waste any time. Let's just go ahead and change what we need to change immediately. So Naz Reid is a backup 5. Hopefully that changes things for us. We shall see if it does. Garland wins back-to-back MVPs. Just one of the most OP guys in the game. We might need to start trying to trade for him low-key. He's not someone I usually get, but he just feels like he'd be like an untouchable player in Cleveland. But I guess that hasn't stopped me in the past. Hey, Noah Clowney wins most improved. So maybe we didn't even need Jeremy Grant, and Clowney was ready to step up because he shot 44% from 3 off the bench, 14 points per game. Love to see it. But other than that, we are in the playoffs. We made it as the 6th in the East. So we did make it outright, which is a great sign. Yeah, 27 from LaMelo, 12.5 from him as well. 20 points from Mikal Bridges, 14.5 from Clowney. 13 from Jeremy Grant, 13 from Cameron Johnson, and then 11 from Naz Reid, 9 from Cameron Thomas, 8 from Dariq Whitehead. I will tell you, if there's another move to be made, if we don't win a championship here, which I highly doubt we're about to, I would probably use Jeremy Grant's contract, and maybe, I don't know. We're probably going to try to go for like a big swing once again if it doesn't work out here. Because it looks like Noah Clowney's ready to step up at that starting 4 spot for us. And he's starting right now, which, you know what? I'm low-key okay with. I mean, he's playing great. Jeremy Grant comes off the bench. I don't know if I love paying him that much to come off the bench, but it is what it is. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. Orlando in round 1. Let's just go game by game on this one. We're down 1-0. Lose by 5 in game 1. Paulo with 28, 20 from LaMelo. Game 2, we're down 2-0, so not a great start. And are we going to even it up? We do. So we're not done yet. 3 straight. No, we're down 3-2. Okay, game 5. Give more minutes to Nick Claxton. That's totally fine with me. We need our defensive stud out there. So let's see if we can come out here and win game 6 and force a game 7 in Brooklyn and take them back to Orlando. It's not looking good for us, though. We might be going home in round 1 again, unless we come back at the very end, and we do not. So 116 and 109, and we lose. So we got to the first round this year, but we lost. All right. I'm going to run it back for one more year. I'm not ready to give up just yet. Trae Young and Jalen Green are in the conference finals, or in the finals, I say, and then Trae Young and the Hawks win. So, have had no luck so far, but that's not going to stop me now. We're going to try to use Jeremy Grant's contract, even though we literally just traded for him. But it's time to move on from him already, because Noah Clowney is ready to step up as the Thunder get number 1 and number 2 via the Clippers and the Wizards, which is pretty intense and scary to think about. But it is what it is. First step for me is I'm going to go ahead and fire Mr. Jack Vaughn. He didn't do anything wrong, but there's some good candidates here. And, of course, I love Steve Kerr, but it's hard to get him, so I doubt he signs with us. But there should be some better options. Jamal Mosley, Jack Vaughn still here. Mike Brown, Darvin Ham. I can never go wrong with getting one of these guys. Give me Darvin Ham. He should sign. Yeah, Darvin Ham, welcome in. So, don't know if it was all Jack Vaughn's fault. I'm not going to just put the finger, the blame on him, but we need a change. It's not working so far. We got our guy LaMelo, and it's just a matter of trying to figure out what we're going to do here. So let's go straight to the draft, and let's see what we can do on draft night. So on draft night, we have nothing. We literally have nothing to offer. So Cameron Johnson, Jeremy Grant are our forwards right now, and Noah Clowney played incredible last year. 14.5 points per game, 44% shooting from 3. So he's probably going to be better than Jeremy Grant overall. So I think we can move from Jeremy Grant or Cameron Johnson, because Jeremy Grant, I think, would go up at small forward if we wanted to move him there. And he does go up, but we'll see. So if I'm going to get like an elite forward, if I, can maybe pull this off, I don't know if I'll be able to, because I've traded a lot of draft picks as it is. But we're going to give it a shot, and we're going to try to get like a better forward here. And this will be my last big swing, even though I don't even know if we have the assets to take this last big swing, to be honest with you. So I was taking a look at my options for trading away Grant and Cameron Johnson. I'm going to be honest with you, there was really no good options out there. So I think we're just kind of stuck with the team that we have, and we're just going to have to hope and pray for the best going into next season. So I'm going to bring back literally everybody. Mikal Bridges I'm bringing back, Cameron Thomas I'm bringing back, and Naz Reid I'm bringing back. So I'm going to re-sign all 3 of them. I want to keep my team relatively the same. It looks like we're glitching and having Cameron Thomas come back on the qualifying offer, which is fine. And we do have money to sign one more player. So Melo Ball, Mikal, Cameron Thomas, Dariq White, Cameron Johnson, Clowney, Jeremy Grant, and then, obviously Naz Reid and Claxton as our 5 unit. So we just need a backup point guard, and Ayo Dosunmu fits the bill for that. So yeah, I mean, we can try the deadline and make another big move if we want to, but I don't think it's there, man. We used all of our assets at this point. We used them on Jeremy Grant and LaMelo. I definitely regret the Jeremy Grant trade. I didn't expect Clowney to step up the way he did. He is only up to a... Where did Noah Clowney go? Oh, he's only up to 79, so I guess he didn't even change that much anyway to begin with. So who knows? Maybe I should have never traded for Grant. Maybe that's where I had a massive misstep, but we're going to just try to run it back and see how it goes, man. The Nets are in a tough spot. It's just, I try to make it work. LaMelo Ball was my big swing, and I don't regret it by any means. The Grant trade, I maybe somewhat regret. But I was just trying to find a different forward other than Finney Smith and just kind of hope it worked out. But I guess we have a new head coach. Maybe that changes things. We'll see. I'm going to go to a 9-man rotation, and then we're going to change the bench utilization once again to 50, and we'll roll with it. So LaMelo, Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Clowney is starting again, Claxton, Naz Reid, Tariq Whitehead, Cameron Thomas, and then Jeremy Grant. We have Ayo Dosunmu, Aaron Bradshaw, and then a bunch of other guys on the team. So, I mean, at the deadline, if there's an idea or a trade that I can make happen, we might entertain it using Jeremy Grant's salary or Cameron Johnson's salary. Either way, we'll see. I'll stop if I'll show you if I do stop, but we'll just simulate to the season if nothing comes of it. At the end of this season, things actually went super well. I tried to stop at the trade deadline to make another trade, but the assets we had available just kind of weren't there. So, but we did get an MVP award out of LaMelo Ball, 27 points on 14 assists and 50-40-90. So that's a great sign. This is the guy I wanted. He never really was doing, I mean, yeah, he kind of was. Actually averaged 27 last year. So what am I talking about? But Harrington's rookie of the year on the Spurs. You got Dame winning 6th man, Chet's defense player, and Booker's most improved in Portland. Wow, Booker would be an amazing get for the Portland Trailblazers. But Quinn Snyder, coach of the year, and Harrison, executive. And LaMelo makes All-NBA first team. So that's the guy I was kind of hoping we got once we traded for him. And here he is. And he made All-Defensive second team. So let's see how these playoffs go. We're the 3rd seed in the East. We have yet to get out of the first round. So maybe we can get out of the first round this year, and that'll be our big victory. But we'll see. So the Pacers in round 1. They got Harrington. They got Halliburton. They got Ron Holland, Jarris Walker, and Walker Kessler. So the Walkers in the front court with Holland, Halliburton, and the Lee's Harrington. Game by game here, down 1-0. Not a great start. Are we about to go home in round 1 again? Oh gosh, this is Are we just not gonna get out? Are we not gonna get out of round 1 today? We're down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers, bro. Wow. Round 1 is not gonna be. We might not be able to get out of round 1 today, which is honestly really sad. We do win this one. Okay, so that's great. 3-2 lead for the Pacers. Maybe we can win game 6 and game 7. That's gonna be hopefully the hope right now. We have the lead in game 6, but they take it back. We take it back as well. And if we can win this one, just hang on to it. Okay, we are forced into game 7, so we're not done yet. I want to get out of round 1 like super badly. We have the lead here in the first quarter. Just hang on to it, and we're getting out of round 1. That's all it takes right now. We have a really good lead, and I think we're getting out of round 1. Thank you, man. We were down 3-1. I was like, damn, we're not going to get out of round 1 today. But thankfully, we come back from 3-1. We get Cleveland or Miami. Please give me Miami. Please give me Miami. I don't know what the Miami Heat have, but I just am banking on them being a lot older at this point. Force win for my. I'm just kidding. I won't actually do that. All right, here we go. Game 7, Miami or Cleveland? Of course, the Cavs. We're probably going home then. So Miami had Dinwiddie, Hero, Markkanen, Porzingis. Okay, pretty interesting. Omer, Benedict Mather, and Kobe White. I mean, they don't have Jimmy or Bam anymore, so I don't know how that would have went. But the Cavs have Book Knight, Garland, Isaac Mobley, and Jarrett Allen with Denny Avdia, Max Strus, Kenrich Williams, and Dario Saric. Here goes nothing. Game 1, down 1-0. Probably where we get swept, right? No, actually even it up. 113-109, 25 from Mikal. Game 3, big one here. Down 2-1. Game 4, because we cannot afford to go down 3-1 to the Cavs. That is just like a, it's just not going to work if we go down 3-1. Close game here, but it looks like the Cavs are going to go home with this one, and they are, in fact, going to go up 3-1. So the chances of us coming back from 3-1 on the Cavs is pretty damn slim. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, we came back 3-1 last round, so maybe we can do it again, but yeah, it's not looking good. So, are we going to win a championship with the Nets today? It is absolutely a no. It's just not happening. So, I tried my best to make it work. Unfortunately, we had a couple missteps. I don't regret trading for LaMelo Ball, but the Jeremy Grant trade, that was an L on my part. Should have never traded for Jeremy Grant. I was just trying to get a better power forward than obviously what we had currently in Finney Smith, even though I do like Finney Smith at 2K, just overall is not great. But let's see who wins the championship at least, and the Thunder go on to win it all. They beat the Hornets in 5 games. Wow, I've been recording this video for 55 minutes. Wow, that is insane. Regardless, guys, I mean, on that note, I try to make it work with the current Nets core. I think we all know that the Nets are going to be a fun team, but they're probably not a contender. They just aren't. So I try to make it work with the, the current foundation that they have. Fortunately, we just couldn't get it done. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.